Does a heavier car have more downforce than a light car? Technically, yes. Whoa, that's so sick, man. Whoa. So why don't we just add weight to the cars so we can have more downforce? Alright guys, today we're gonna talk a little bit about downforce, because there is one good type of downforce and there is one bad type of downforce. And if you could imagine, what is the easiest way to add downforce to a car? Yes, exactly, you put weight on it. But more about that whilst we blast up this sick mountain road here. I'm gonna visit my parents. This is my childhood town. Some people put weights in their back in winter when they have a rear-wheel drive car, so they have more grip. That's also downforce, yes? Now we need to talk about what is the bad thing about weight. Yeah, it's not the downforce. If you use weight to increase downforce, you also increase the side and back forces. So when you accelerate, the car wants to stay at the point where it is. It's a law of mass. Woohoo! Let us blast these roads first. Woohoo! Hairpins, gotta love those. Need to shuffle for that. Woohoo! Braking, trail braking, also need to shuffle for that. Little slip, yes! Wow, that's so sick, man. Wow. And when I used to live up here, I got to drive this road every day to work. Already traffic, we cannot blast anymore, but still we're gonna talk about the downforce. Look at this beautiful view, man, wow. Imagine it like this, if you put our hands together, it's really easy to move them side to side, but if you apply force, you push them together, it's really difficult, and that equals grip from the tires to the road. So why don't we just add weight to the cars so we can have more downforce? Why do we use spoilers and like the Sperling, using a fan to pull yourself down? Because then you don't have the side forces and the back forces. And also when you start braking, the force wants to keep moving forward. Yeah, you actually need to stop the force. That's why lighter cars are better, whilst using air as downforce. Because when you use air as downforce, you either have spoilers or some aero on the car, which either deflect the air, so it pushes the car down, or you have the opposite of a wing, which uses the airflow to generate a downforce, yeah? It's gonna move the air up, so the car gets pushed down. And that's how you get more grip without actually getting side forces. This car weighs around 950 kilograms, but the tires on this are like glue, so you don't even need to have a lot of force for it to stick. And the lack of side force also increases the corner speed on these cars, which is really beneficial if you want to drive a bit faster around the corners. You might ask yourself, are there other ways to add downforce or to decrease the side force? Yeah, the side force we don't like, the downforce we like. That's also why heavy EV cars accelerate so good, because they have so much downforce, because they're so heavy. They have so much grip at the zero level, and that's why they can launch really good. They have a lot of grip at the start, but not so much in the corners, yeah, because the weight wants to go. Yeah, wow guys, here you now see my hometown where I grew up. Beautiful Engelberg, stunning place here if you want to ski, if you want to hike, if you want to do mountain biking, paragliding, any type of sports, outdoor sports. This is the place to be, man. It's absolutely stunning, as you can hopefully see. Now I'm gonna have lunch with my parents. I'm gonna teleport you to the point where we're gonna drive back down. There is another way to technically eliminate the side force from a heavy car, and I'm gonna give you a couple seconds to think about what that could be. Heavy car, a lot of downforce, but when you turn, the force or the weight wants to go to the side. yeah, and the opposite side where you turn. How can you eliminate that? Yes, technically you can put boosters on each side that measure the G-force, and if you have like 1 G pushing to the right, you have the booster, the air booster from the other side pushing it into the corner, and this way you can technically eliminate side force. I don't know how efficient that would be, but the Mercury Sperling does it in a way where it gets sucked down like a vacuum cleaner. Woohoo! Yeah, the Mercury gets sucked down like a vacuum cleaner, so that's where the downforce comes from. The car actually only weighs 1,000 kilograms around. With, by the way, 1,000 horsepower. That's 1 horsepower per kilogram. It's insane. But still, that is a good way of getting downforce without getting the side force. And one downside of downforce with aero parts is you need to be at a certain speed. Yeah, the air has to travel at a certain speed over your spoiler or over the aero, so you can actually generate downforce. And with a heavy car or with the Sperling, you have the downforce from 0 miles per hour or 0 kilometers an hour. And going back to why heavy cars launch so good from 0, because they're so heavy, the Tesla Model S Plaid actually does something quite amazingly. When it wants to launch, it's gonna plunge its nose down, and what that is gonna do is angle the weight to the front, so when you accelerate, the car evens out and it doesn't lift. Yeah, because you don't want all the weight in the back or going back, and this way it evens it out a bit more. That's actually genius, or is such a cool feature of the Tesla Model S. Why do they cut corners, man? I still don't get it. Yeah, as you can see, downforce does not equal downforce. You can have downforce with weight or downforce with pressure. Those are the main downforces. Oh, the burbles, man. Let's give it a good old pull. Second gear. Oh, yeah, all in all, does a heavier car have more downforce than a light car? Technically, yes. But what most people forget, they also have a lot more side force, front force, back force. Yeah, the mass wants to stay where it is, it doesn't want to move. It's basically a law of mass. Whoa, changing from 4th to 2nd. Just have to rev match a bit higher. I'm also probably gonna make a video on how to correctly rev match and how you can implement some advanced manual driving techniques into your driving style. Hopefully we have no traffic in this corner, because that's a cool corner leading onto a highway. We can give full boost, yes. It gets tighter at the end, so we need to watch out a bit. Oh, limiter. I fully ran into the limiter, guys. Yeah, it happens sometimes. And again, speedo is a different speed than the GPS. It's around 10 kph difference. RS3, also nice. Now you're in for some tunnel runs, man. With no roof, it sounds so good. Oh my god. Oh hell yeah, in this tunnel let's get a second gear pull to 100. yes, yes, yes. Yes, we have a lot of long tunnels here in Switzerland, which I love in this car. The little Toyota 4-cylinder just sounds so good with that exhaust. Car is completely stock, by the way. From the low revs it sounds so deep and throaty. Oh, guys. If you want to see some more content where I just blast on some mountain roads, check out this video right here. Otherwise, I really hope you enjoyed this video and hope you learned something from it about downforce. Downforce is a really technical aspect of driving, which is quite important actually if we want to go a bit faster. And you can achieve the downforce in different ways, of course. But I think with air is the best way, as there is no side force. Let's not forget my home tunnel, the bonus tunnel. Oh my god, sounds so violent. Alright, see you in the next one, guys. Peace.